Alright guys, so this is the second video if you're trying to watch these in chronological order. I have a paper I printed it off the internet. I know that sounds like a really, I guess immature source, if that's what you want to call it, but it raises some good points that I feel should be, brought to your attention. So I'm going to kind of honestly read it word for word. I'm not going to sit here and memorize someone else's work. Alright, there is no question that a bench summons, a detention, an arrest, a ticket, or citation issued by a police officer or by others for parking or traveling with no driver's license, a foreign driver's license, no current registration, or no mandatory insurance, etc., which carries a fine or jail time, is a penalty or sanction. And that is indeed converting a right into a crime, which thus violates substantive rights. It is reasonable to assume that the court's judicial decisions are straight and to the point. There is no lawful method for government to put restrictions or limitations on rights belonging to the people. The right to own and possess private property and personality and to be secure in those rights is preserved and secured for the people and the citizens by the Constitution. The government does not give rights, for it has no rights to give, sell, or license. The government is put in place to protect and secure the pre-existing inalienable rights of the people and citizens. So, I mean, them pulling you over and giving you a ticket is literally them, turning your right to travel into a crime. That's not a crime. They're imposing a sanction on something that's not a crime. It's not a crime not to use your turn signal. There's no reason for them to write you a ticket. They're making you part of their corporation. And, you're a slave to their corporation. You must obey their corporate rules. Fuck that. Take a car off the fucking registration shit. I mean, if you have a car, if you don't trust this, go buy a little $500 beater and cruise around in it, get comfortable, So I'm gonna get cracking. Fourth Amendment of the Constitution states, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, house, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. They can't just for no reason be like, oh, well, you have a right to travel, but we're gonna fucking say otherwise. They can't. So this is from Article 6, this is Clause 2 and 3 of the Constitution. This Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, and anything in the Constitution or the laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. The Senate, this is Clause 3, the senators and representatives before mentioned, and the members of the several state legislatures, and all executive and judicial officers both of the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by an oath or affirmation to support this Constitution, but no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification by any office or public trust under the United States. So basically what they're saying is the Supreme Court is the law, or the Constitution is the law of the land, and every judge is bound by an oath to uphold that. I mean, if you mention the Constitution in court, they're gonna tell you you're in contempt. I've tried it. So you find out that when you're in municipal court or city court, traffic court, you're actually not in Article 3, common law court. You're actually in an admiralty court, maritime jurisdiction. It's all about economics and commerce and all that exciting stuff. So I'm gonna get real quick into some Supreme Court case reports or sightings. I'm gonna actually list these in the description to the video. I'm not gonna spell them out. I'll leave them, point by point, and the citing for the case law. This is State versus ARMSTEAD. This is the right to travel, the right to mode of conveyance, the right to locomotion are all absolute rights, and the police cannot make void of exercise of rights. This is Chicago Motor Coach versus Chicago. The use of the highways for the purpose of travel and transportation is not a mere privilege, but a common and fundamental right of which the public and natural beings cannot be deprived of. This is Kent versus Dulles. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but we're going to sound it out. The right to travel or park is part of the liberty which the natural person or citizen cannot be deprived of without due process of law under the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution. Thompson v. Smith. The right of the citizen to travel upon the public highways and transport one's property thereon either by carriage or automobile is not a mere privilege which a city may prohibit or permit at will, but a common right which he/she has under the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So your main common fucking rights, your main rights, is literally to be able to get into your car and be able to go where the fuck you want without being told what to do. No limitations. This next one's actually pretty important. This has 2 sightings in it, so I'm not going to really call out, the case. The first part's actually pretty important, so I'll call this part out. This is Michigan v. Duke. And it says that state police power, meaning state police, their power only extends to immediate threats to public safety, health, and welfare, etc. So unless there's a crime taking place, a corpus delicti, an injured party must be present. You must have a claim, a verifiable claim by a man or a woman that states that you are, in fact, the person that harmed or injured someone. A court can't take place without that. So that's the main question you always need to, raise in any case, is where is the injured party? Actually, before I get off topic on the right to travel, because I'll get sucked into another universe, watch. So the next case is, California v. Farley, and that adds on to, the state police power, it's stating what's driving and speeding or not. So, that's not a threat to the public safety or health or welfare of anyone. Driving and speeding are not a threat to anything. This next one is, I'm gonna guess that it's California v. Farley. I'm thinking that it's citing CHRISTY v. ELLIOT. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's CHRISTY v. ELLIOT. Anywho, it's I'll put both of the things down there, and you guys can do your own research. I don't remember offhand which one's which. I'm pretty sure it's the way that this paper is citing it is saying that both these things have what I'm about to say. Traveling in an automobile on the public roads was not a threat to the public safety or health and constituted no hazard to the public, and such traveler owed nothing more than due care as regards to tort for negligence or to the public, and the owner owed no other duty to the public, example state, that he or she, with his or her automobile, having equal rights to and on the roadways / highways as horses and wagons, etc. This same right is still a substantive rule in that speeding, running stop signs, traveling without license plates or registration are not threats to the public safety and thus are not arrestable offenses. That's it's a pretty serious thing to say right there, you know. This next one is MUGLER versus Kansas. This is under the United States Republic's constitutional system of government, which we're all guaranteed a Republican source of government. So under that Republican constitutional system of government, and upon the individuality and intelligence of the citizen, the state does not claim to control one's conduct to others, leaving one the sole judge as to all that affects oneself. This is Miranda v. Arizona. This is where rights are secured by the Constitution are involved. There can be no rulemaking or legislation which would abrogate them, which basically says anything that limits your right to travel, your right to go from point A to point B, is actually in violation of the Constitution, you know? And anything, if that's the supreme law of the land, any law made under that, so basically any code or statute in contradiction saying that you can't travel in an automobile is null and void. It can't exist because a higher law says otherwise. This is Miller v. Kansas. This is the claim an exercise of constitutional rights cannot be converted into a crime. It's pretty simple. That's any of your rights. That goes with the CCW as well. I got into that on an Instagram post. With the whole CCW thing, if you have the right to bear arms, how can you get in trouble for not possessing a CCW? If you have a right to bear an arm, it really depends how you interpret it. You could bear arms, but typically it's firearms. It's the means to defend yourself. Now, you can't issue a license for something that's a right. That's what we're going through with this whole driving thing, is the fact that if a right exists, that there's no right to govern it. So the same would go with the CCW. That is fraudulent. It's a way to extort you for money and your time, energy. If you don't feel safe and you don't know how to handle a weapon, go for it. Be safe. I'm not trying to discourage people from being safe, but as far as possessing a gun, or anyone that tries to make you register said gun, why would you you have the right, which means no one can fucking take it away. Unless you hurt someone. If you have a history of harming people with guns, yeah, I can see that. Don't fucking harm people. It's natural law. Do no harm. Take no shit. Be prepared. Bear arms. This next one is SHERER versus CULLEN. This is, for a crime to exist, there must be an injured party. In parentheses, they have corpus delicti. That's the Latin word for body of a crime. Or in Latin, that the translation would be body of a crime. Or an injured party, like they said. There can be no sanction or penalty imposed on one because of this constitutional right. So in order for a crime to exist, in order for a policeman to pull you over and get your license from you, he must have proof that a crime has been committed. A crime. Traffic infraction is not a crime. I have that somewhere. I will read. That'll come out at some point in one of my videos. I'm not there at the second. If any tribunal, in parentheses court, finds absence of proof of jurisdiction over a person and subject matter, the case must be dismissed. That's Louisville v. MOTLEY, and the accuser bears the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. So basically saying that you shouldn't have to defend yourself. The accuser is the one saying that you're using the roads for private gain. So yes, they should have to manufacture the evidence. You know, show me where I'm making money at, man. You know, you can't just pull me over. I'm living my life. You know, I'm literally, you know, exercising personal liberty. You know, the main thing of this country. I don't know. So this next one, I really don't know what to call the citing. It says Industrial Edition Association v. C.I.R. It's 323 U.S. 310. Lack of federal jurisdiction. So, you know, this in U.S. Code 18, Title 18, Section 245, subsection 2E, you know, that talks about traveling in any form of anything is a protected activity. You know, anything, because it's an unalienable right. You know, it's protected. So the lack of the federal jurisdiction, saying that they have no right to take part in that, cannot be waived or overcome by agreement of parties. That's Griffin v. Matthews. I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. There's two sightings in this one. This one's kind of confusing. And that the want of jurisdiction may not be cured by the consent of the parties. So you can't even give your rights away because they're not yours to give away. You can't. It's just something you have. You can't lose them. You can't barter them. I mean, you probably could, but you know, they're your rights. They're yours. They're not a currency. It's freedom. So I guess, you know, I want to keep this video under 30 minutes. I've covered a shit ton of case law right there. You can really clearly see, you know, there's no reason, if you don't have a plate on your car, for them to pull you over. None at all. If you research some of the sightings that I provide and you find something different, let me know. Until then, you know, I'm gonna give you guys a couple little updates real quick. You know, as far as where I'm at with the channel and stuff. I'm gonna do that at the end of the videos because I know no one really cares, but some people might. I'm gonna, you know, lay out the information, then I'll get to some personal stuff. Because that's honestly what annoys me, is I don't want to sit there and listen to dude talk about himself for fucking 45 minutes before we even get into the point. So, you know, I laid out all my points real quick, and I don't know, I want to, I guess, kind of touch base with my, you know, subscribers, you know, people viewing these videos, and I would like to know what you guys would like to see. I'm still inquiring more information on, I guess you would call, the redemption process. People say it's fucking fraud. People are stupid. People always want to deter you from the truth. So it's really called something different, but they're gonna say that that's fraud. I mean, I've seen people offer these secured party creditor classes. There's all sorts of stuff. I'm trying to, you know, I provide my information for free. I believe knowledge should always be free. So if anyone has any information that, I mean, you can just point me to a book. You know, I'm cool with that. But I want factual information. Subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna, you know, keep rolling out videos. I'm gonna try to keep the topics short. I believe that video was just under, you know, I think it was like 17 minutes or something. I do my videos all in one take. That's because I want to maintain them to, you know, within a certain time frame to, you know, keep shit short. I'm at about 20 right now, which is kind of pushing my limits. I want to be under 20, you know, with my intro and closing. But I also want to, you know, like I said, you know, once the information's done, feel free to click off. I don't fucking care. This is more just people that want to know more about what I'm researching, or, you know, how to collaborate with me, or, you know, how to get a hold of me. If you want to donate, that's always, you know, more than happily accepted. I prefer, you know, Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. I can accept, you know, gold and silver. That's the only real lawful money. You'll find out in one of the lessons coming up. I'll go further into that in another lesson. But I accept donations by Cash App, or if you have a different, you know, payment method or whatever, you really want to donate, you know, because you feel I'm going for a good cause, feel free. I'm not charging for shit, but I mean, I don't believe information should ever be charged for. If you want to watch these in chronological order, the next title is going to be a bill entitled to be an act, and I'm going to go through a complete document. I mean, if you break that word down, the etymology of, you know, a bill entitled to be an act, it's basically, you know, proposition that never really went through law, but it's correct. It's entitled. It's indefeasible. I'm not gonna actually sit here and break it down for you. This is just an update. I'm not going into a whole nother lesson. So I guess, you know, subscribe to the channel, like the video, as always, you know, give me some YouTube love. If anyone has any further information for me, or, you know, things they want me to cover in the future or look into to, you know, make streamlined videos on, give me a shout out. My lines are always open. If you want my phone number to get in contact with me, you can get that through my email. I made an email for, you know, this channel. I'm working on getting the blog together. I don't know. I guess everything's still processing. We're rolling on video too, and I'm gonna have a couple more rolling out probably today. So, you know, kind of the same things gonna be going on. I'm obviously gonna be in the same outfit. It'll be pretty obvious. If you want one of these plates that I run, the website is Freedom from Government. Dude's name's Trent. He's a good guy. He's wrote a few books. He's very intelligent. He's actually, he was posting on Facebook the other day that I can't remember the exact topics, but it's like philosophy of law and stuff. He's one of the top sellers. I was like, wow, that's pretty fucking rad. I've read one of his books. It's very good. I'm going to do a video on that as soon as I figure out how to make this bad boy readable by this bad boy, you know? So, it'll all come in time. The next video, you know, I'll have, you know, a printout of what I'm talking about, and we'll kind of go over it. As well, I mean, I'm sure I'll throw some more stuff in there. I'm going to organize some stuff. Then I'm probably going to cut out of the right to travel for a little bit and start explaining to you. I mean, I explained to you guys on a citizen's level that this exists. So even on your slave level, we'll call it, you know, it's still there. It's a factual thing. So, you know, we'll get into breaking down the statuses and all that shit. But in the meantime, stay up. Much love. Take it easy, guys.